Hello, good morning friends. Welcome back to your favorite channel Code1 Digest. Today in this tutorial, we will learn about serverless deployment design pattern for microservices. I'll explain what is serverless deployment design pattern, where to use it, what are the advantages of this design pattern. I'll also give you the real world example of this design pattern. So stay tuned and watch this tutorial till end. It is going to be very exciting and informative tutorial, and there is a lot to learn from this video. Friends, in the previous tutorial, I discussed about single service instance per host design pattern. Do you know what is single service instance per host design pattern all about? Can you explain that design pattern? Provide your answer in the comment section of this video. And if you have not seen that video, so go and watch the previous video on Code1 Digest channel on single service instance per host design pattern. The link is provided on your screen and also given in the description section of this video. For more information, go and watch the previous video on Code1 Digest channel.
What you need to understand, Susan, is that everyone has an agenda, okay?
Okay friends, so here is the agenda of this tutorial. I'll give you introduction of serverless deployment design pattern. I'll explain you the principle behind the serverless architecture. Then I'll explain you the major use cases of serverless deployment design pattern. Then we'll understand the types of serverless deployment design patterns. Then I'll show you the real world example of serverless deployment design pattern in cloud providers. Then we'll understand the use cases of serverless design pattern, and I'll also explain you the benefits of serverless design pattern. At the end, I'll summarize the video, what we learned in this tutorial. So stay tuned and watch this video till end. It is going to be very informative and very exciting tutorial today. Okay friends? Friends, before we proceed in this video, I request you to subscribe this channel to grow Code1 Digest family. Friends, I am creating a lot of quality videos on programming, coding concepts, design pattern and design principles, cloud and container technologies, but I'm not getting subscribers. I request you to like, share and subscribe this channel so that I can grow our Code1 Digest family. Thank you. Okay friends, so now let's start with the serverless deployment design pattern for microservices. In a serverless deployment model, the underlying infrastructure is encapsulated and there is no responsibility to manage the resources. The term serverless implies that there are no servers, so you need not to manage any server. You pay only for what you use. So if your app is not being used or is not receiving any traffic, your bill won't be affected by that. The benefit of this model is that it lets developer focus on the building their app and not to worry about infrastructure. In serverless design pattern, a cloud provider takes on the responsibility of infrastructure, so developer need not to worry about it. Serverless environment makes it easier to deploy microservices because they allow you to focus on building your application functionality instead of worrying about the underlying infrastructure. But always remember, serverless deployment pattern fits for a niche use cases, while container and virtual machines have more flexible in use cases. In serverless deployment pattern, we do not have to worry about how many servers are being used or how much resources are they consuming. This allows developers to focus on writing the code instead of worrying about the number of servers you need to run your application. Serverless architecture have several benefits, including improved scalability, flexibility, reduced price, and increased productivity. There are multiple options available for serverless deployment on all the major cloud providers like Lambda Function, Fargate on AWS Cloud, Azure Functions on Azure Cloud, and Google Cloud Functions on Google Cloud. Serverless is a great choice for experimenting and for the learning things on the cloud. Important point to note here is serverless technology doesn't mean the absence of a server. Rather, in this case, the cloud provider is managing the server infrastructure for you and allowing developers to concentrate on their application logic. Right, friends? Friends, let's understand the principle behind the serverless architecture. There are four main principles behind the serverless architecture. First is simple but usable primitive, that is small, usable building blocks. Second is scales with the usage. That is, server are auto-scaled by the cloud provider based on your need on your behalf. Third, pay only usage. That is, customer only have to pay for the time using services. Fourth, built-in availability and fault tolerance. That is, no need of DevOps, no need of maintenance or managing the infrastructure. Right, friends? Let's understand the major use cases of serverless design pattern. There are five main use cases of serverless design pattern, and they are: first is event-driven data processing. Second is web application. Third is mobile and IoT applications. Fourth is application ecosystems. Fifth is event workflows. So all these use cases have the applicability of serverless infrastructure, serverless deployments, serverless design patterns. One of the most common application of serverless environment is to trigger action after an event occurs. A very common example is when an image object being loaded to AWS S3 bucket that may trigger a Lambda function to run a compression task so that image is re-archived into S3 in a standard size format. Let's understand the type of serverless design patterns. Serverless platform can be categorized into two broad categories, that is function as a service and backend as a service. Function as a service allow customers to build, deploy, run, and manage their application without managing the underlying infrastructure. Backend as a service provide online services to handle specific tasks over the cloud like authentication, storage management, notification, messaging, etc. All serverless computation oriented services comes under the function as a service category. That is AWS Lambda, Google Cloud Function, Google Run, Apache OpenWhisk, etc. While rest of the serverless services can be categorized as backend as a service. Example, serverless storage like AWS DynamoDB, AWS S3 bucket, Google Cloud Storage, etc. Then serverless workflows, example, AWS Step Function, serverless messaging like AWS SNS, AWS SQS, or Google PubSub, etc. Cloud providers are responsible for managing the serverless infrastructure. They are responsible for the tasks like scalability, auto scaling, invocability, concurrency, networking, etc. for their serverless computing services.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Okay, friends, so now let's see an example of this design pattern. And we understand this design pattern with a example of AWS Lambda function. AWS Lambda is an example of serverless deployment technology. It supports Java, Node.js, and Python services. To deploy a microservice in a Lambda function, you have to pack your microservices as a zip file and upload it to AWS Lambda. You also supply a metadata which specifies the name of the function that is invoked to handle the request or event. AWS Lambda automatically runs enough instances of your microservices to handle the request. You are simply billed for each request based on the time taken and the memory consumed. Best part of Lambda function serverless architecture is neither developer nor anyone in your organization need to worry about physical servers, virtual machines, or containers. A Lambda function is a stateless service. It typically handles requests by invoking AWS services. For example, a Lambda function that is invoked when an image is uploaded to S3 bucket could insert an item into a DynamoDB image table and publish a message on event bus to trigger image processing. There are four ways to invoke Lambda functions. First, directly using a web service request. Second, automatically in the response to an event generated by AWS service such as AWS S3, DynamoDB, or simple email service. Third, automatically via AWS API gateway to handle HTTP requests from client of the application. Fourth, periodically according to a cron schedules. By now, you would have realized that AWS Lambda is a convenient way to deploy microservices. The request-based pricing means you only pay for the work that your service actually performs. Also, because you are not responsible for the IT infrastructure, you can focus on developing your application. Of course, the devil is in the details. Lambda function has the significant limitation as well. Lambda function is not intended to be used to deploy long running services such as service that consume messages from third-party message broker. Request must complete within a 300 seconds. Service must be stateless, so in theory, AWS Lambda might run a separate instance of each request. Microservice must be written in one of the supported language. Service must also start quickly, otherwise they might be timed out and terminated. Right, friends? Let's see another example of this design pattern. This time we'll understand this design pattern with a Azure Function example. Azure Function from Microsoft Azure is a cloud-based serverless service that allowing running event-trigger code in a scalable way without providing or managing infrastructure. It enables the capability to run a script or a piece of code in the response to a variety of events and doesn't need to run continuously. They can be written in several languages like C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, Python, TypeScript, and even PowerShell. They're also scalable, and when the demand for the code execution increases, the necessary resources are automatically allocated for the request. Any leftover resources that respond to the server request are automatically disposed. Let's take an example of e-commerce website. Let's say you are a web developer and you want to send out email notification to the customers for any change in the order status. Instead of building an entire system with your own infrastructure, you can simply use Azure Function to send notification to customers. All you need to do is to just write the code to send notification to the customer and deploy it on Azure Cloud. Azure Function will run only when there is a trigger from e-commerce system. Azure Function will also automatically scale to the current needs. For example, when we need more processing power on a Black Friday, you will be charged for the number of invocation and the time of their execution only. That means you only pay when you process your orders. On top of that, you don't need to anticipate the traffic that could be generated by next promotion and need not to pay for idle servers. Some of the most common use cases of Azure Functions are sending emails, starting a backup, file processing, image compression, report generating, order processing, scheduling tasks such as notification, sending messages, database cleanup, data purging, and IoT data processing, etc. Remember, Azure Function is better suited for the part of your app that can be executed as a separate processes that often run multiple times in parallel and are triggered by a specific event that could require rapid scaling from time to time.
Wow.
Okay, friends, now let's see some of the use cases of this design pattern. So use this design pattern when you want to experiment or learn things on the cloud. Use this pattern when you don't want to manage your cloud infrastructure. Use this pattern for faster development and for the cost cutting. Use this pattern for auto scaling the resources whenever it is required. Use this pattern when you want to pay only for what you use. So these are some major use cases or usage of this design pattern. Right, friends?
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, friends, now let's see some of the advantages of this design pattern. First, serverless computing reduces the cost by cutting down on the infrastructure managed overhead. Second, it reduces the risk by allowing the team to move faster. Third, developers don't have to worry about scaling up infra before launching a new features. Fourth, serverless computing automatically takes care of scaling up or scaling down as per the load conditions. Fifth, serverless computing makes deployment easier than ever because developers do not require any virtual machine setup or container service.
This is not rocket science.
Okay friends, now let me summarize what we learned in this tutorial today. I gave you introduction of serverless deployment design pattern. Then I explained you the principle behind the serverless architecture. Then we understood the major use cases of serverless deployments. Then I also explained you the types of serverless deployment design pattern. Then we saw the real world example of serverless deployment design pattern like AWS Lambda Function and Azure Function, etc. Then I explained you the use cases of serverless deployment design pattern, and I also explained you the benefits and advantages of serverless deployment design pattern. So friends, let me know if you have already used this design pattern in any of your project or seen a scenario where this pattern can be useful. Please provide your answer in the comment section of this video.
goddamn right.
Friends, if you like this video, so give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for the more interesting videos. Click on the bell icon for the latest video notifications and do not forget to share this video with all your friends and colleagues. This is very useful information for students, beginners and software engineers. I am putting a lot of efforts in creating these contents. So please help me growing the Code One Digest family. Please subscribe to Code One Digest channel for the latest programming and technology related videos. Thank you.